Hi grade 3s! Today for English we are going to look at endings. So the last section in our narrative diamond. So far we've looked at entertaining beginnings, we've looked at elaborative detail, we've touched on suspense when we looked at our word reference and our red flag words. We've also looked at our main events. So really now is just to do our last section, and that is endings. So when you're writing an ending, these are the four things or four sections that you want to try and include when you're writing. So you want to think about, remember you're writing as if you are the main character, so you want to think about a memory. What did you remember most in your story? You want to try and add a feeling. What did you feel about what happened? How are you feeling right now? You also want to try and add a wish or hope. So is there something that you wish for now that your story is over? And the decision and action go hand in hand. So it's that final decision or final action in your ending to finish the story off. So some of the things you want to try and avoid is you never want to end your story with the end, or they all lived happily ever after, or suddenly everything was fine because I woke up from a dream. So those are some of the things you want to try and avoid. Now, before you start writing your ending, there is an activity in your handout that's been shared with you in your daily email. So on the first page, it's story ending models. And in the boxes, there are two examples of some good endings. And it's your job to read through them and try and figure out if you can find all of these elements, so these elements here, in these two endings. And so you want to underline the memory in blue. You want to underline the feeling in red. You can underline the final action or decision in green. And you can underline the wish or hope in orange. So once you've done that, then you can take a look at the second page in your handout, and that's where you can begin writing your ending. So to cook up a great ending, the first thing you want to do is to choose one of the three options to write your ending. So on the second page in your handout, we've given you three options that are extremely boring, and it is your job to spice them up and include the four elements in your ending. And so, for example, one of the options is, so I flew home and put the carpet away, the end. Underneath each of the options, there's a little bit of a backstory so that you can know what might have gone on in the main event, and that will help you to be able to write your ending. So step number 2 is to write between 5 and 7 detailed sentences. Don't forget to include your memory, feeling, wish or hope, decision or action. Once you're done writing, it'll be your last step is to edit your work using the perfecting pencils and the toolbox. So this is a week-long project, so you don't have to finish it all in one day. Over here I have a schedule for you that you can follow. If you end up doing a little bit more work one day and a little bit less the next day, that's perfectly fine. But to give you an idea of how it will look this week, Monday, you can watch this video and you can look at the examples on the first page of your handout. Tuesday, you can choose one of your options and start writing. Wednesday, you can finish writing and start your corrections. And Thursday, you'll finish your corrections and you'll review the checklist. So on the back of your handout at the very bottom, you have a story ending checklist. Make sure that all of these are checked off before you hand in your assignment. Now, to hand in your assignment, you can either choose to do this by hand. If you write it by hand, try and find some line pieces of paper so that you can double space so that you have space to do your corrections, and you can upload a picture into your Google Drive in your ELA folder. And if you'd like, if you don't want to write by hand, you can also write it directly into your Google Drive on a new Google Doc, and you can title it Endings. And I think that is everything. Have fun.